Here's my review of Inside Out 2. I am so happy to say that this movie was really great because it has been a while since there has been a great Pixar movie, and I'm just really happy to say that this movie was great. And I mean, granted, maybe it could just be the high of watching it last night or just like recency biased, but I think I liked this one even more than the first one. And the first one was really good too. But I think the reason I might have liked this one even more is just because Riley's getting older, we're dealing with more complex emotions, and due to that, this whole movie is a lot more complex and intricate than the first one. And the main thing with this, the main big, I guess, new emotion in Inside Out 2 is anxiety. And I love the way how anxiety is described as they're talking about how fear described is used for to help Riley with the stuff she can see, and anxiety is more for something that she can't see and more something that's going to happen rather than something that is happening. And that's a really just unique way of describing it. And it's just I think that that's one thing I think I liked about this movie is I mean, the whole point is anxiety is she's kind of more of an antagonist rather than a villain. And I think that that is a really good move because if we just the whole point is basically learning instead of defeating anxiety, it's more learning to work with anxiety instead of just trying to like lock your emotions away. And another big part of this movie is Riley moving on when she goes to this hockey camp and her like not wanting to hang out with her old friends and wanting to hang out with the new girl. And that's a kind of trope that I feel like has been done in many of movies. But I think that the way it's done here, it almost makes Riley, I guess, more understandable. But I kind of liked the way it was done. I really did. And I feel like some of the other new emotions that they introduced, like boredom or ennui, I mean, they don't really have much to do. Especially, I mean, you're literally called boredom, so it kind of like you naturally don't really have much to do. And Envy is great, who's voiced by Ayo Edebiri from The Bear, and she's great in this is too. And I really liked her. And this whole movie is just really fun. And also, this movie introduces a new concept for Riley's mind called the belief system, where it's basically what her personal opinions are, and like whenever they attach the strings, like almost like a playing a harp, it's a quote or a belief from Riley and what she thinks about herself, and it's just very interesting because then over time it gets worse of maybe because she's dealing with so much anxiety and she feels like she's becoming a bad person, and it's just a really beautiful way of showing it. And I think that another really good thing that was introduced is like there's a lot of great puns in here, like the sarcasm for when Joy is saying something normally, when it echoes across the sarcasm, it sounds of course sarcastic, and then just making it come across as more rude. I thought that was a really funny joke. And I think that I will say like I said, how anxiety isn't necessarily a villain and more of like a obstacle, as a big part of this movie is more Riley learning, yes, the anxiety is important, but you can't have anxiety stop you from feeling joy. You can't have something worrying about something like stop you from enjoying your life and basically turn you, I guess, not necessarily bitter, but more just always so nervous about stuff where you can't even have time to enjoy your life. And I really liked that. And I will say, like, this is another movie where, like, some of the other emotions don't really get as much to do, like, whether it's disgust or fear. And especially the new like embarrassment. I barely even talked about embarrassment. It's more just there for jokes. But I thought that it was done really well here, and I just really liked this movie. I think that there was more. Of course, there are more emotions, and because of that, there was felt more depth, and especially because these are emotions that come later on in life, it's probably more relatable to several other people, even more so than the first one. And I don't know, I just really liked this movie. I thought it was great. Of course, the animation is top tier. This is Pixar we're talking about. Every single frame is gorgeous. And yeah, I didn't really have any complaints. I just really liked this movie and I thought it was great.